Okay, so the first sentence here is Etrusci quorum rex porsenna erat Romam oppugnabant. So the subject is Etrusci, the Etruscans, and then quorum means whose, W-H-O-S-E, because it's the genitive plural of qui, so it means of whom or whose. Then rex is nominative singular, the king. Then erat is the imperfect tense of the verb to be, third person singular, so that means was. And then porsenna is a name. And then the main verb is oppugnabant, were attacking. So that's third person plural imperfect. And then the object of that verb is Romam, which is Rome in the accusative. So the whole sentence means the Etruscans, whose king was Porsenna, were attacking Rome. Then the next sentence is cives perterriti magno in periculo erant. So the subject is the citizens, cives, third declension, and they're described as perterriti. So that's perterritus, meaning terrified, in the masculine nominative plural. And then the main verb is erant, which means they were, imperfect tense. And then here you have in plus ablative, meaning in. So in great danger, in magno periculo. And this is one of those times in Latin where the preposition is sandwiched between the adjective and the noun. So Latin says great in danger, but in English we would say in great danger. So that whole sentence means the terrified citizens were in great danger. Then in this next sentence, in urbe tamen erat juvenis fortis, Gaius Mucius nomine. So in urbe means in the city, that's in plus ablative, and urbs, urbis, feminine, is a third declension noun, meaning a city. Tamen means however. Erat means was, or he or she was, or there was. A juvenis fortis, so juvenis is a young man, and fortis means brave. And then nomine means by name, or called. And then Gaius Mucius is a name. So that whole sentence means, in the city, however, there was a brave young man called Gaius Mucius. And then in the next sentence we have Mucius consilium audacissimum capit, castra enim hostium intrare constituet. So the subject is Mucius, and then the verb is capit, with its object being consilium. Now this is a phrase in Latin, consilium capere, and that literally means to take a plan, but you could translate it as to come up with a plan. And capit is the perfect tense, third person singular, because the verb is capio, capere in the infinitive, and then capi in the perfect. So, and then audacissimum is a superlative adjective, right? Audax means bold, and audacissimus means very bold. So the whole sentence is, Mucius came up with a very bold plan. And then in the second half of the sentence, enim means for, in the sense of giving an explanation. And it always comes second in its phrase. Castra means the camp. Now it's a neuter plural noun, so it could be nominative or accusative. In fact, it's accusative, and we know that because the verb is singular. So a plural noun like castra could not be the subject of constituit. So constituit is he decided, perfect tense of constituere. So he decided, intrare, to enter, infinitive, the camp, and then hostium is the genitive plural of hostis, which is an enemy, so of the enemy. And hostes, meaning the enemy, is one of those Latin words like castra, which is a plural word, but we translate it into English as a singular. So you just say of the enemy, even though it's plural. So that whole sentence there, Mucius came up with a very bold plan, for he decided to enter the camp of the enemy. Then in the next sentence, senatoribus igitur, patres inquit, consilium optimum habeo, quod nos liberabit Romamque servabit. So igitur means therefore, and that's another word like enim, which comes second in its phrase. So therefore, he said, inquit. And then senatoribus is dative plural, third declension, so to the senators. And then here is his direct speech. He says, patres, that's the vocative plural of pater. So pater is a father, and that's how you address senators in ancient Rome. So fathers, he said. Then the main verb is habeo, which means I have. And you don't need to look for a subject because it's first person singular. So the subject is just I. I have a consilium optimum. Consilium is a plan, and optimus is the superlative version of bonus. So bonus means good, optimus means very good. And melior is the comparative, which means better. So I have a very good plan, which, quod. And then the next main verb is liberabit. That's the future tense of liberare, to free. Right, so which will free nos, and that means us. Liberabit, the subject is quod, which refers back to the consilium, the plan. And, that's que, and then servabit is another future tense verb, which means it will save, and the object of that is Romam, which is Rome. So the whole sentence there is, he therefore said to the senators, fathers, I have a very good plan, which will free us and will save Rome. Then the next sentence, cupio enim castra etruscorum intrare. So enim means for, cupio means I want, and then intrare, to enter, infinitive. And the object of intrare is the castra, accusative case, the camp, and then etruscorum is genitive plural, of the Etruscans. So that sentence means, for I want to enter the camp of the Etruscans. And then, in the next sentence, ibi auxilio deorum porcennam necabo. Ibi means there, or in that place. Auxilio is ablative singular, so it means with the help. It's the ablative singular of auxilium, which is a second declension neuter noun, like bellum, meaning help. So with the help of the gods, deorum, that's genitive plural of deus, I will kill necabo, future tense of necare, first person singular, and the object is porcennam. So there, with the help of the gods, I will kill Porsenna. And then in the next sentence, post mortem regis Etrusci ab urbe nostra discedent. So post plus accusative means after. Then mortem is our accusative. That's the accusative singular of mors mortis, which is a third declension noun meaning death. And then regis means of the king, genitive singular of rex. Then the subject is Etrusci, the Etruscans. The main verb is discedent. Okay, now this is the future tense, third person singular, from discedere. So it's a third, discedo, discedere. It's a third declension, a third conjugation verb. And so its future goes discedam, discedes, discedet, discedemus, discedetis, discedent. So the Etruscans will depart from, that's ab plus ablative, and then here's the ablative, urbe nostra, meaning our city. So that sentence means, after the death of the king, the Etruscans will depart from our city. And the next sentence is, senatores et consilium et virtutem eus maxime laudaverunt. So the senators, so the subject, senatores, third declension. Then the main verb is laudaverunt, that means they praised, perfect tense of laudare. And then the repetition of et, when you have et twice, it means both and then and. So the senators praised both the consilium, the plan, and the virtutem, the courage, of him. So eos is the genitive masculine singular of is, ea, id, meaning he, she, it. So eos genitive means of him, or you could say his. So that whole sentence goes, the senators praised, or very greatly praised, maxime, that's a superlative adverb. So the senators very greatly praised both the plan and his courage. Or you could say both his plan and his courage. And then going to the next paragraph, first sentence here, Mucius igitur gladium in vestibus celavit, et nocte Roma abiit. So igitur, therefore, Mucius, celare, now this is to hide something, and this is the perfect tense, so he hid his sword, gladium, in vestibus, in plus ablative, vestibus is ablative plural, and it means clothes, and then nocte means during the night. Nocte is the ablative singular of nox, and it's ablative singular because this is time within which, right? It means during the night. And then the main verb is he departed, abiit. This is from abeo, abire, to go away, and the perfect is abii. And then Roma means from Rome, because remember, towns and small islands don't need a preposition. So you don't say a Roma to say away from Rome, you just say Roma. And if you want to go to Rome, you say Romam, not ad Romam. So that whole sentence means Mucius therefore hid his sword in his clothes and during the night departed from Rome. And then the next sentence is ubi ad castra hostium advenit, magnam turbam circum regem invenit. So ubi means when, unless it's in a question, when it sometimes means where. But in this case, when he arrived, advenit, adveni is the perfect tense of advenire, to arrive. And in this case, Mucius must be the subject because there's no other nominative singular noun. So when he arrived, ad castra, at the camp, of the enemy, genitive plural, he found, invenit, and the object is magnam turbam, a big crowd, around the king, circum regem. So circum plus accusative means around, so that's why regem is accusative. So the whole sentence means, when he arrived at the camp of the enemy, he found a large crowd around the king. And then the next sentence, Mucius hominem conspexit, qui pecuniam militibus dabant. So Mucius caught sight of or noticed, that's conspexit, perfect tense of conspicio, conspicere. And the object is hominem, which means a man. That's the accusative of homo, which is a third declension noun, meaning a man. Qui means who. Then dabat means was giving, imperfect tense of dare, to give. The object of dabat is pecuniam, which is money. And then militibus is dative plural, meaning to or for soldiers. So the whole sentence means Mucius caught sight of a man who was giving money to soldiers. And then the next sentence, Porsennam habeo sibi dixit, et statim hunc gladio necavit. So in the speech here, he says, I have, habeo, porsennam, that's porsenna, and then dixit means he said, perfect tense from dico dicere, to say, and then sibi means to himself. It's the dative of say, and it's reflexive, so it refers back to the subject. Et means and, statim means at once, necavit is the main verb, meaning he killed, perfect tense of necare, and then hunc means him or this man. It's the masculine accusative singular from hic haec hoc, meaning this. And then gladio is an ablative of instrument. It means with a sword, or with his sword. So the whole sentence means, I have porsenna, he said to himself, and at once he killed this man with his sword. And then the next sentence, non tamen regem sed scribam eus necaverat. So nekaverat means he had killed, pluperfect tense. So the verb is neko nekare, the perfect is nekavi, so the perfect tense goes nekavi, nekavisti, nekavit, and so on. And then if you put the pluperfect endings on that stem, you get nekaveram, nekaveras, nekaverat. And that's what we have here, the pluperfect tense. So he had killed. Not the king, non regem. Regem is the accusative of rex. Tamen means however. Sed means but. Scribam is the accusative of scriba, which is a secretary. And then eos means his or of him, genitive of is. So the sentence means he, however, had not killed the king, but had killed his secretary. Then in the next sentence, milites mucium ad porcennam traxerunt. So the soldiers, milites. Traxerunt means dragged. So traho, trahere means to drag, and the perfect is traxi. And this is the third person plural of that. So the soldiers dragged Mucius to Porsenna, ad Porsennam. So the whole sentence means the soldiers dragged Mucius to Porsenna. And then the next sentence, rex eum rogavit, quis es, unde venisti. Okay, and in fact, rex there should have the accent because it's a long E. There we go. Rex eum rogavit, quis es unde venisti. So the king, rogavit means asked, perfect tense of rogare. And then eum means him, accusative of is, ea, id, meaning he, she, or it. And this is the masculine. And then the question is, quis es, who are you? So quis means who, and es means you are, from sum es est, sumus estis, sunt. And then unde means from where, and then venisti means you have come. So it's the second person singular perfect tense from venire, to come. So the king asked him, who are you? From where have you come? And the next sentence, tum ille civis Romanus sum respondit. So tum means then, ille means that man, or he, and respondit is the main verb, meaning replied. And here's what he says, sum means I am, civis is a citizen, and Romanus means Roman. So the sentence means, then he replied, I am a Roman citizen. Me Gaium mucium vocant. So vocant means they call, and there's no nominative plural noun here, so we just say they call. Then me means me, and then there's his name. So the sentence means they call me Gaius Mucius. And then ego, qui mortem tibi paravi, mortem mihi non timeo. So I, ego, who, qui, have prepared, paravi, perfect tense of parare, death, mortem, accusative singular of mors, mortis, and then tibi means for you, dative of tu. And then he says, non timeo, I do not fear death, mortem, for myself. So mihi is the dative of ego. So the sentence means, I who have prepared death for you, do not fear death for myself. And then he says, me necare potes, sunt tamen Romae multi juvenes, qui post me venient et te necabunt. So he says, you can, potes. It's the second person singular of possum, meaning I can or I am able. So you can, and it takes infinitive. You can or you are able to kill, necare, me, that's me. There are, however, sunt tamen, in Rome, Romae. So this is the locative case, Romae meaning at Rome or in Rome. Multi juvenes, many young men, who, qui, will come, venient. This is that second type of future endings, because venire, venio, venire is third conjugation. So it doesn't go bo bis bit in the future, it goes am, eis, et, amus, etis, ent. So who will come? Post me, post plus accusative means after me. And will kill, nekabunt. Nekare is first conjugation, so it has the bo bis bit future. And then the object is te, meaning you. So the sentence means, you can kill me. However, there are in Rome many young men who will come after me and will kill you. And then in the next sentence, rex et iratus et perterritus erat. Now in this sentence, et, or at least the first et, does not mean and, because you've got et twice. And so that, in this case, it means both, and then and. So the king, rex, was, erat, in perfect tense, both angry, et iratus, and terrified, et perterritus. So that's this first sentence of the last paragraph. The king was both angry and terrified. And then primo nihil dixit. Primo means at first, nihil means nothing, and dixit means he said, perfect tense from dico dicere. So at first, he said nothing. Tandem milites inquit, te punire eubebo. So at last, tandem, he said, inquit, I will order eubebo. So eubeo, eubere is second conjugation, which means that it has the first pattern of future endings. It has the bo bis bit pattern. I will order my soldiers, milites, accusative plural of miles, militis, third declension noun, meaning a soldier, to punish, punire, infinitive, and then te means you, and it's accusative. So at last he said, I will order my soldiers to punish you. Mucius tamen ad aram ambulavit et dextram in igne diu tenebat. So Mucius, however, Mucius tamen, walked, ambulavit, ad aram, ad plus accusative, and an ara is an altar. So he walked to the altar, and he held tenebat. Here it's the imperfect tense, because it's a kind of continuous action. In other words, he kept on holding his dextram, his right hand, in the fire, in igne, in plus accusative, because ignis is third declension, meaning a fire, so it goes like rex, and then diu means for a long time. So that sentence means Mucius, however, walked towards the altar, or walked to the altar, and for a long time he held his right hand in the fire. Dolorem inquit non timeo. So I do not fear, non timeo. Pain, dolorem, that's the object, and then inquit means he said. So I do not fear pain, he said. Then porsenna virtutem tuam inquit, et timeo et laudo. So porsenna said, porsenna inquit, I praise, laudo. Well, in fact, you've got two main verbs actually, timeo and laudo, and they're joined by et and et. So I both fear and praise virtutem tuam, which means your courage. So virtutem is a feminine third declension noun, meaning courage, and so tuam is also feminine accusative singular agreeing with it. So Porsenna said, I both fear and praise your courage. Deinde mucium liberare constituit. So then, or next, that's deinde, he ordered, constituit, and then you have to sort of imagine an object here, so something like ordered them to free, liberare, Mucius. So then he, constituo, sorry, I was getting the verb mixed up. So constituo means to decide. So deinde constituit. So then he decided to free Mucius. So then he decided to free Mucius. Then in the last sentence here, illum postquam Romam rediet, cives Scaevolam vocaverunt. So illum means him, or that man, but it's accusative, so it's the object. The verb is plural, vocaverunt, so you need a plural nominative noun to be the subject. And that plural nominative noun is cives, so the citizens. After postquam, he returned to Rome. So rediit is the perfect tense of redeo, redire. And then Romam means to Rome. Because remember, towns and small islands don't need the preposition. So after he returned to Rome, the citizens called him vocaverant illum. And then the name that they called him is Scaevolam. And Scaevola means lefty or left-handed, because of the fact that his right hand has been burned in the fire.